Step out of the car. Whose Ferrari is this? It's mine. Marcus Hale. FBI. I just came from the bank. The parking lot in front of Chase Bank. 11:42 in the morning. Harsh sun. A yellow Ferrari was parked near the door. Not blocking anything. Not over the lines. Agent Marcus Hale stood by the driver's side door. A black windbreaker, with the white letters FBI clear on his chest. A cash envelope was tucked under his left arm. His right hand was on the roof of the car. Palm open. Officer Daniel Cross approached. He didn't look at the license plate. He didn't use his radio. His eyes stopped on the Ferrari logo. This your car? Marcus Hale looked straight at him. That's right. Daniel Cross gave a short laugh. There was no humor in it. This kind of car isn't for people like you. Marcus Hale kept his hands up where they could be seen. You can run the plates. Daniel Cross glanced down at Marcus Hale's brown leather shoes. Nice outfit. You can buy those jackets online. The badge is right here. Marcus Hale tapped his chest lightly. You can verify it in 2 minutes. Daniel Cross didn't look at the badge. His eyes moved to the envelope of cash. Borrowed or stolen? Neither. A woman standing near the ATM stopped what she was doing. About 30 feet away. A young man's phone was live streaming. The security camera light above the bank entrance blinked red. Marcus Hale spoke slowly. The car is registered in my name. I was withdrawing money for my wife. She's in the hospital. Daniel Cross took a step closer. The distance was less than an arm's length. People like you always have a story. No one said anything for 3 seconds. The glass door of the bank slid open, then shut behind them. Marcus Hale took a breath. Officer Daniel Cross. I'm cooperating. You can call it in for verification. Daniel Cross frowned when he heard his name. Don't tell me what to do. Marcus Hale didn't lower his hands. Both hands remained open. His fingers weren't clenched. What are you holding me for? Daniel Cross looked around the parking lot, like he was looking for some invisible support. Suspicious vehicle. The car's done nothing wrong. Turn around. Marcus Hale stood still for a beat. I'm not resisting. Stop resisting. I haven't resisted. Daniel Cross grabbed Marcus Hale's right wrist. The cash envelope fell to the concrete. A stack of bills slid partly out of the envelope. Daniel Cross looked down. Car. Cash. Looks like you hit the jackpot today. Marcus Hale turned his head toward the bank's security camera. I identified myself. Daniel Cross pulled harder. Hands behind your back. I'm Special Agent Marcus Hale. You're making a mistake. Another SUV slowed down in the lot. The driver left the engine running. Marcus Hale half-turned with the pull. His hands weren't clenched. Call for verification. Daniel Cross didn't answer. The radio on his shoulder gave a soft crackle of static. He hadn't pressed the button. Did you hear me? Marcus Hale asked. Turn around. I'm standing right here. Daniel Cross raised his voice. Loud enough for anyone around to hear. Stop resisting. No one saw Marcus Hale jerk his arm. No one saw him run. All anyone saw was a black man in an FBI jacket, standing next to a yellow Ferrari. His hands open. His voice steady. The bank manager, Laura Mitchell, stood behind the glass doors. She was looking out. She didn't step outside. Marcus Hale said it again. My badge is in my inside pocket. You can check it. Daniel Cross looked at his chest but didn't make a move to get it. Anyone can print one of those. I told you my name. Yeah. Anyone can say a name. Daniel Cross took hold of Marcus Hale's left wrist. The metal of the handcuffs touched his skin. Not locked yet. Marcus Hale said each word clearly. I am not resisting. He said that for the person who was live streaming, for the bank's cameras, For anyone else who could hear, Daniel Cross finally keyed his radio. Possible impersonation. Suspicious vehicle. Marcus Hale didn't say a word. He just looked straight ahead. A light wind blew through the parking lot. You could hear the hum of the AC from inside the bank. The envelope of cash was still on the ground. A single bill shifted in the wind. Daniel Cross squeezed the cuff tighter. Left hand behind your back. Marcus Hale brought his left hand back. Slow and deliberate. I am complying. The live stream was gaining viewers. Comments scrolled quickly across the phone screen of the kid standing by the ATM. Daniel Cross said, just loud enough for Marcus Hale to hear. Next time, don't go flashing cash around next to a car like this. Marcus Hale didn't respond to that. He just said it again. Run the verification. The radio on Daniel Cross's shoulder was still open. A faint crackle of static. Still no answer. Marcus Hale was standing right by the patrol car door, hands behind his back. One cuff was locked. Possible impersonation. Suspicious vehicle. Marcus Hale spoke evenly. I identified myself. You can verify that in 2 minutes. Daniel Cross didn't look him in the face. His eyes were on the phone being held up a few yards away. Stay still. I am standing still. A second patrol car pulled into the lot. It parked at an angle behind the Ferrari. The door opened. A second officer got out. His full name was Ryan Cole. He looked at Marcus Hale. He looked at the FBI jacket. Didn't say anything right away. What's going on? Daniel Cross answered quickly. This guy says he's FBI. The car doesn't fit the picture. Marcus Hale tilted his head slightly. The car's registered in my name. You can check. Ryan Cole looked over at Daniel Cross. Did you run the plates? Daniel Cross didn't answer right away. Didn't have to. You can just tell. Marcus Hale spoke slowly. You didn't check my plates before you cuffed me. Daniel Cross tightened the cuff on his other wrist. Stop talking. I'm not resisting. The live stream from across the street got louder. A young man's voice. Quiet, but clear enough to hear. He's wearing an FBI jacket. Man. Daniel Cross turned and snapped at him. Stop filming. The phone didn't go down. A third car pulled into the lot. Sergeant Alan Pierce got out. He walked slowly, taking it all in before he asked. Report. Daniel Cross spoke in a flat tone. Subject claims to be FBI. Has cash. High-value vehicle. Non-compliant. Marcus Hale spoke clearly. I was compliant from the beginning. I asked for verification. Sergeant Alan Pierce looked at the chest of the jacket. The letters FBI were clear in the sun. You got ID. Inside pocket. Left side. Daniel Cross cut in. Could be fake. Sergeant Alan Pierce looked straight at Daniel Cross. Did you check? No one answered for 2 seconds. Marcus Hale spoke again. Badge is in the inside pocket. You can get it. Sergeant Alan Pierce stepped closer. He reached into the jacket pocket himself and pulled out the credentials. He looks hard, says nothing, just turns away. He keys his radio. Verifying ID. Marcus Hale. FBI. Reading the number off the credentials. The parking lot is silent. Only the sound of the idling engine. Daniel Cross crosses his arms. Anyone can make a badge. Marcus Hale meets his gaze. You can call the field office. The radio answers. Confirmed. Active federal agent. Office is 2 counties over. Sergeant Alan Pierce lets out a breath. Take the cuffs off. Daniel Cross doesn't move for a beat. Sergeant. Take them off. The metal clicks open. Marcus Hale's wrists are faintly red. No one says sorry. Marcus Hale rubs his wrist. He doesn't look down. This is going on the record. Daniel Cross scoffs. Record what? Everything. Sergeant Alan Pierce turns to Daniel Cross. Did you run the plates first? Didn't need to. Sergeant Alan Pierce looks over at the Ferrari. Run the plates. Ryan Cole does it. The result comes up on the computer in the patrol car. Registered owner, Marcus Hale. Status, valid. No one says anything else. The bank manager, Laura Mitchell, steps outside. Our cameras recorded all of this. Daniel Cross waves her off. This doesn't concern you. Marcus Hale looks at Laura Mitchell. Please, preserve the recording. Sergeant Alan Pierce said quietly. We'll request a copy. The live stream was still running. The number of viewers was climbing fast. Comments scrolled without stopping. Marcus Hale stood tall. His FBI jacket still had dust on the sleeve from hitting the car door. I asked you to verify my ID before putting me in cuffs. No one answered him. Daniel Cross looked away. We were just doing our job. Marcus Hale spoke in an even tone. You cuffed me before you checked. Sergeant Alan Pierce said firmly. This will be reviewed. Daniel Cross didn't say anything else. A light wind blew across the parking lot. The envelope of cash was still on the ground. Ryan Cole picked it up and handed it back. Marcus Hale took it. He didn't count the money. What is your report going to say? Daniel Cross answered quickly. A routine traffic stop. Marcus Hale looked him straight in the eye. I told you I was a federal agent from the very beginning. Sergeant Alan Pierce said curtly. We'll handle this internally. Marcus Hale gave one single nod. My office will be in touch. No one stopped him as he walked away. No one said another word. The bank security camera was still blinking red. The phone was still recording. They had run his plates after he was already in handcuffs. The mistake wasn't what was said. It was what they failed to do before the cuffs clicked shut. That afternoon, the video was posted online. No edits. No background music. Just the parking lot. The quiet. And the metallic sound of handcuffs locking. The sentence, "A car like that isn't for people like you," was replayed in slow motion. Viewers heard every single word. No one needed an explanation. The FBI field office submitted a formal inquiry within the day. Officer Daniel Cross filed his report before he knew the video had gone viral. The report read, routine stop. Subject uncooperative. The video showed open hands. It showed a request for verification. It showed the handcuffs clicking shut before the license plate was ever run. 3 days later, Internal Affairs brought Marcus Hale in for questioning. A small conference room. A tape recorder sat in the middle of the table. He recounted the events in chronological order. Nothing added. Nothing left out. I identified myself from the beginning. Did you resist? No. Did you refuse to provide your identification? I told them to get it from my coat pocket. The recording ran without interruption. No one cut him off. At the same time, Daniel Cross sat in another room. His union rep was next to him. Did you see the FBI jacket? It wasn't clear. A printed photo from the bank's security camera was placed in front of him. The white letters FBI on the black background were clear in the sunlight. Did you run the license plate before you cuffed him? I was assessing the situation. That answer was recorded. A week later, the city received a notice of a civil claim. Wrongful detainment. Use of force without verification. Inappropriate language. No one talked about feelings. They only talked about procedure. The deposition was taken under oath. The city's lawyer sat to Daniel Cross's right. When you said, people like you, what did you mean? Nothing specific. Then what? A few seconds of silence. I don't recall. The video was played again. The audio was not distorted. It was not edited. The city's finance department was asked to conduct a risk assessment. A 7-figure number appeared in the internal memo. A high probability of losing the case because of the visual evidence. The mediation was held behind closed doors. No media. No statements to the press. The $5 million figure was agreed upon Tuesday morning. Signed. Sealed. Wire transferred. No appeals. That same day, the disciplinary action was issued. Daniel Cross was terminated from duty, cited for violation of protocol and professional standards. His badge was revoked. No lengthy press conference. Just a brief announcement. The city committed to retraining on inspection and verification procedures. Marcus Hale didn't hold a press conference. He went back to work after a few weeks. The money went to his wife's hospital bills, legal fees, and a portion was donated to a civil rights fund. The Ferrari stayed. He didn't change his car. He didn't move. The video still exists. It's used in rookie training at the police department. On the classroom screen, the instructor pauses it right before the cuffs go on. Where did it go wrong? Nobody answers right away. Because everyone sees it. It wasn't the car. It wasn't the envelope of cash. It was skipping verification before using the cuffs. I'm telling you, this didn't blow up because of the Ferrari. It blew up because there was a camera, and someone didn't stay quiet. If there was no live stream that day, would anyone have questioned the routine traffic stop report? What do you think? If a man clearly identifies himself and still gets cuffed before any verification, where's the problem? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Share this story if you believe protocol has to be followed before power is applied. And subscribe to Power Misplaced Stories for more stories where the files and the footage do all the talking.